Out of all the Filipino recipes that we've done, I think this might be the best. Okay, so today we are making lechon, one of my favorite pork belly recipes, period, regardless of where it comes from. But when it comes to Jollibee and chicken adobo, I mean, these are two really iconic dishes that are unbelievably good, very easy to make, and this falls in that category. But for some reason, this pork belly feels like it's so much harder to make than it actually is. And that's the beauty of this recipe. So with all that being said, let's make this, shall we? If you're gonna make the crispiest skin pork belly of your life, you need to start with pork belly. So you'd need a 3-pound or 1.3 kilo pork belly with the skin on. Pause. If you buy pork belly without the skin, you need to give yourself a wee little spanking because you're missing 90% of the joy and the reason for this recipe. You can't have crispy skin pork belly without the skin. In a large pot, add 1.5 quarts or 1.4 liters of water, 5 cloves of garlic peeled and left whole, 1.5 tablespoons or 13 grams of black peppercorns, 6 bay leaves, 3.5 tablespoons or 39 grams of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon or 14 grams of dark soy sauce. Bring that up to a boil over medium-high and carefully lower in your pork belly. Now look, you may need to split your pork belly in two to fit it in the pot. That's perfectly fine. Just make sure the water fully covers the pork. Add more if needed. Now bring that up to a boil. Once it's going, reduce the heat to medium and simmer for 50 minutes or until tender. Remove from the pot, place in a wire rack set over a baking sheet and allow to dry for a few minutes. Then season the skin with flaky salt and place in the fridge uncovered overnight. Another step you cannot skip, drying is essential to the crispity crunchy. You know, the kind that makes your eyes roll into the back of your head. You could probably get away with like a 6-hour dry, but considering how god dang easy this first part is, you might as well do it ahead. Now once it's dried out, before you get cranking away on the next step, we're gonna make a very important sauce to go with it, toyo mansi. First, in a bowl, add 3 cloves of finely chopped garlic, 2 small red chilies, thinly sliced, that could be red Thai chilies, whatever. A 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters of calamansi juice. Whoa, Josh, what? Calamansi is a lovely citrus fruit you may not have access to, which I understand, and in that case, you may replace with yuzu juice. Oh, wait a little minute, maybe you don't have yuzu juice. That's alright. If you're absolutely out of options and tired of me with this accent, you're more than welcome to use plain lemon juice. Anyway, follow that with a 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters of soy sauce, stir till thoroughly combined, and that's done. Now for the moment we've been waiting for. Not just making our pork belly tender, but developing a crackling with a crunch that can be heard clear across the globe. Heat a 7-quart pot about halfway with vegetable oil and heat to 375 Fahrenheit. At this point, you're welcome to cut your pork belly into chunks before frying, but I chose to do a whole piece. Carefully lower in the pork belly and fry for 12 to 13 minutes. This is going to drop the temperature of your oil significantly, so that's why the time is so long. Please be aware that this oil is extremely dangerous. If it starts sputtering aggressively, please turn off your flame, as it's a massive hazard, and only turn back on when it's not. Pippity poppin'. You've been warned. Now constantly baste the skin with the hot oil to puff up nicely. Once that's a nice, deep golden brown and the skin is puffed and crisp, and more specifically, the inside is nice and hot. You can use a thermometer, something like 165 should do it. Pull it out, drain it on a wire rack, and serving this is simple. Slice up your hunk o' meat using a bread knife, because yes, the skin is literally that beautifully crispy. Serve with rice in your toyo mansi, maybe toss in a veggie if you're feeling it, and sure, that's delicious. Now hold on, it doesn't stop there. What if we took this lechon and turned it into one of the greatest pork belly sandwiches of all time? Sure, you could put it in a little banh mi, maybe do a little French dip kind of vibe, but I have my own plans. You can't have a sandwich with no sando sauce. I'm calling this green sauce. That's it, it's green. So to a blender, add 2 jalapenos that have been fully blackened all over with a flame and peeled of their skin. Of course, remove the stem. 10 cloves of peeled whole garlic, 2 green onions, roots removed and rough chopped, 4 Thai chilies stemmed, half a cup or 60 milliliters of calamansi or yuzu juice or lemon juice, salt to taste, pinch of sugar, 1 bunch of cilantro, and blend that bad boy on high speed until as smooth as possible. If you need to use a splash of water to get it to loosen, that's completely fine, all right? I'm not gonna come show up and give you a little spanking, unless, I'm kidding. Now, while blending, carefully stream in 1 cup or 240 milliliters of vegetable oil until all of it's been added. The vegetable oil is gonna turn this from a plain old little green sauce to a delightfully emulsified, creamy, balanced sauce. I had to add vegetables to the sandwich so I didn't get yelled at in the comments. So in a large mixing bowl, add half a head of red cabbage, very thinly sliced. I mean thin. Do the same thing with half a red onion, thinly sliced. You want to practically see through the onion. Follow that up with 1 green apple julienne, half a cup or 100 grams of mayonnaise, 2 cloves of garlic grated, 1 teaspoon or 5 grams of soy sauce, that's silver swan, by the way, 1 tablespoon or 14 grams of white distilled vinegar, toss your salad, nice. And of course, salt and pepper to taste. Look at this beauty. Honestly, maybe I don't regret adding vegetables to this after all. Maybe you're right. Maybe you guys bullying me in the comments actually does help. Thank you. I'm kidding, please be kind, good lord. For our bread, I would highly recommend ciabatta, but I also literally do not care what you use. Any bread that's not unnecessarily soft, like a sourdough loaf, is perfectly fine. Just pick something hearty, otherwise the outside is going to have less strength than the filling, and that sucks as an eating experience. Anyway, add enough butter to a pan to coat the bottom, heat over medium heat, let that melt, and slice your ciabatta in half or whatever you got. You might need to break it down into sandwich-sized pieces, and in batches you'll add your bread to the pan and toast until it reaches a nice golden brown like this. It'll take like 1 to 3 minutes. Remove from the pan and immediately split 1 clove of garlic, rub the cut half all over the toasted side of bread. What this does is perfume your bread with a delectable de garlic. Add a nice smear of mayo on the bottom bun, optionally some bread and butter pickles for balance. Follow with your cabbage slaw, place as many slices of your pork belly as you desire. Of course, complete with your mayoed top half. Carefully lower on top of the sandwich, and let's not waste any time and taste Mr. Traditional and a naughty sandwich. It's nighttime, look at that. Wow, this actually didn't take that long for the record. It's not that bad. We did multiple shoots today. Listen.
You gotta say more.
I know there are many who've tried to achieve the crackling. Every time, I'm sure you're thinking, why doesn't this work? Well, maybe you should have deep fried it. This is your access with the rice. A little bit of this, the toyomansi. It's spicy, it's acidic, a little tiny bit sweet, citrusy. This would be my last meal choice. Enter in this.
I got a big mouth on me.
I don't know if I can handle the girth of this. First off, crunchy on the outside ciabatta, soft on the inside. We got the crunchy skin pork. You know damn well the crackling's gonna stay cracking. Oh my goodness, I think I'm hallucinating right now, Jesus Christ. This turned out surprisingly balanced for how much fat is in this. It's got a little give on the inside. It's soaked up that green sauce, so it's garlicky, it's spicy, it's fragrant, and then it all ties together. You get a little kick right in the, ooh, what was that down there? A little bit of sweetness. What's that from? Green apple, cabbage slaw? God. Look, whether you make this sandwich or not, it doesn't matter. It's all about what's the best pork belly in the world, and this might be it right here. But do you wanna know what else is the best? B-roll. Anyway, listen. We're gonna do this like TikTok interview style when someone's at a college campus and they say something kind of like derogatory and they're like, what do you think about that? The other person's like, I'm trying to go to class. But the reason why I'm doing this is because of this. Did I say more?